Good morning, everybody. What's going down, y'all? So, it is the weekend. Finally, the weekend, man. Now, I'm waiting on DIY Dad to get over here. We're going to do lower ball joints, upper control arms, 2009 Hemi Ram. But, while we're waiting for him to get here and do this, I am having a prolonged start issue. And the more it happens, the more it sounds like it's like the spark is out of sync with the fuel. Like it's firing too late. And I don't know. I really don't know, guys. So what we are doing is we're out here. We have the thing scan. I have my cam crank difference pulled up, my cam sync, crank signal, crank sync state. I mean, here, I'll show you. Let me see. Let me pull this. Let me set this thing up here, dude. Here's what we're getting into, man. So I got all this pulled up, right? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to start the truck. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to recreate the problem. When I had the X-Tool D8 last weekend at my brother-in-law's hooked up, it wouldn't do it. And it doesn't do it all the time. But when it does it, it's a real prolonged start. So, we're trying to figure this out. While I'm at it, I am going to replace my cam sensor and my crank sensor. I might as well freshen them up. I don't know what they've been through. The truck's almost at 200,000 miles. So it ain't gonna hurt to do it, and they're cheap enough. They're like $22 a piece or something like that. They wasn't very expensive. So first I want to do this. I'm gonna hit the key. We're gonna see what we got. Hear it? Look at that. See? Now I am looking at my injector pulse here. I'm looking to make sure they're all around the same, right? Which they're all pretty close. We'll start from number 1 here. So 1928, that's kind of low. 2312, 2040, 2144, 2176, 2240, 2192, 2184. That's my injector pulses. They are changing. You can see them going up and down. I mean, they are working. That's a bonus. We know they're working. And I thought to myself, you know, what if what if it was bleeding back, or maybe a injector was depressurizing or something like that to make it prolonged start? Obviously that's not it. They're working. I mean, and they're running close enough that I would say that they're working correctly. Now, it could be just an old sensor or something like that. I'm not really sure. Guys, you gotta understand, man. I've only had the truck 3 years. I do not have a single clue on how the person treated this truck before I got it. And from the signs that I've seen, they didn't take very good care of this truck, man. So, with that, we're gonna jump out here. We're gonna change the cam sensor, the crank sensor. When DIY Dad comes up, we're gonna start another video, and we're gonna do the upper control arms and lower ball joints. So y'all kick back, relax, enjoy the content. We're gonna have a whole day full of stuff, and that's what's up, man. So sit back and here we go. We're out here at the truck, dude. So I took my air cleaner out to give me room. So we're gonna do the easy one first. Right here, your cam sensor. Now, I'm really just freshening this up. So if the prolonged start is a sensor, that's gonna be my crank sensor. My crank sensor through the PCM determines the spark and the fuel and the timing of it. Now my cam sensor is just to send to the PCM that my timing is still in time. Now, with that, like I stated, we're gonna do the easy one first, right here to 10 millimeters. So here's my sensor. Cam sensor, I just got standard, the same as I got for my PCV valve, which y'all seen me change that, and that was quick. So the part number is PC823. I mean, we're jumping right into it. I got my battery disconnected. You see I took my negative terminal off over there. That's always important, especially when you're doing these sensors. So it is a 10 millimeter. And then just go steady. Look, it's not that tight. You shouldn't lose any oil, anything of that nature. So let me see here. I gotta try to set y'all down. I gotta get y'all in a place y'all will be able to ride it out for right now. So back to what I was saying. It's a 10 millimeter. It shouldn't be super tight, and it should be super simple to get to and get out. Now, if you are up north and you deal with rust, like I've told you before, PB Blaster is your best friend. There it is. Now, thankfully for us with these Hemi Rams, a lot of times these things aren't real bad to get out of there. So you can just kind of wiggle it out. I got that plug on there. That plug, you just depress the tab and it comes right off. Check your connector. That looks good. It's actually got some dielectric grease in there. Huh, all right. And then with this, just work it out. I have a flat blade. Where's my screwdriver? Let me grab my screwdriver. All right, we got it. So one thing you could do, you could put a screwdriver underneath there like so, and you could pull it out that way. See? Now the only reason you're gonna have a little bit of issue like that is for the O-ring. Right, this O-ring right here. Now that don't look too bad, I'm gonna have to say myself. Let's see here. And I did look on that PCV valve that I changed out last weekend. I believe that was the original for the truck. So here's the new one. It looks identical. So I'm just gonna get, if you see there's a little bit of oil on here, I'm just gonna wipe that off. And I'm gonna put it on my O-ring here. Let me get a little more over here. See, and I'm just gonna wipe it on my O-ring just to give it a little bit of lubrication to pop back into there. With that, just pop it back in. Line your bolt hole up and push. Right there. You'll feel that O-ring slide past. I mean, you're in. Bolt. Always get it started with your fingers first so you don't cross thread it. 10 millimeter. Steel bolt, aluminum housing. You don't have to get crazy on it. I mean, that O-ring pretty much just snapped in there and you was good to go. That bolt is just for rattling. You don't want it to vibrate out. Take your connector. Once it clicks, you're in. I mean, there it is. That literally took 5 minutes. So I am gonna have to jack the truck up. The crank sensor's under the truck. So once we get the truck jacked up, I gotta put jack stands underneath it, and then we'll climb under there and do that crank sensor. I'm pretty sure it's just as quick. So just sit back and we're almost there. Okay, man, so before I climb onto this truck, I wanted to give you the part number. Here's the crank sensor. We just went through the cam sensor, super simple. The crank sensor part number is PC834. Now, with that, this was $25. The cam sensor was like $21. They wasn't that expensive. So we're going to climb under the truck now. I already got me a light set up. Let's get up under here. Camera's going crazy. Now we're on the passenger side or the right side of the truck. Now this is your transmission right here. There's your crank sensor right there. Same 10mm bolt. One little, you just pull your tab, right? Wiggle your plug off. So let me get y'all set up and we'll go through this in real time. It should be that simple. We're gonna hope the camera stays there, fellas. It's like, it's barely on there. We're gonna go with it though, man. So here we go. Just gonna reach up through here, depress your tab, right? And then wiggle your plug off. Be careful, don't snap your plastic here. And there it is. Check your plug like always. That don't look bad. So that was pretty simple. 10mm. Make sure you have it in the reverse position, not the forward position. I mean, and that one's not that tight either. Which, I mean, I'd have to say that is a bonus, seeing as we have to be underneath the truck. Now, I did not put it on jack stands, but then again, I did not take it off the wheels either. I just jacked it up enough for me to climb underneath it. Super simple. I mean, the bolt's pretty much identical to the one that came out for the cam sensor. Now, I don't believe any oil will come out of here. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know, but we are gonna find out. And if so, I guess I should have this other one ready, huh? And not be laying underneath it, directly underneath it. Nah. And there it is. So that thing, it don't look bad. I mean, it don't look good, but it don't look bad. Boy, that light's gonna come down and hit that camera. See if I can't get that light in a better spot. Oh my God. There we go, we're gonna leave it there. So same thing, I'm just gonna take some of this oil off of here. Wipe it on my new O-ring. Right? Get a little bit of lubrication on there. You don't want to just jab it in there dry. And then the same thing. Now you do have to note that that new O-ring will be, you will have to kind of work it in there, right? I mean, that's that, it's in there, that's it. Same thing, get your bolts started by fingers, by hand, to make sure you don't cross thread. I mean, that should be a common practice, especially working on these cars with all these new aluminum parts. That light's in a terrible spot now. Well, we're gonna run through it. There we go. I mean, that's pretty much that. It's already down. Where's my ratchet? Ratchet. I'm gonna snug it in there. As y'all seen, it wasn't that tight. We're gonna go a little tighter than what it felt like coming out. Push it in till it clicks. And there it is, fellas. Simple as that, man. So we're gonna get to the top side, hook the battery up, fire this thing up, see what it sounds like. All right, we got everything hooked back up, man. Got the truck let back down. I'm gonna show you the mileage. 186,299. And we're gonna fire it up and see what it does. Well, I mean, it didn't prolong start, but that doesn't mean much. Like I stated earlier in the video, it comes and goes. Sometimes it'll do it 2 or 3 times, and then it won't do it for a week or so. So, time will tell with that. I just wanted to freshen up the sensors. Like I stated, the truck has almost 200,000 miles, and I don't know what they've been through. Now, I hope it solves the problem, and if it doesn't, then we'll figure it out. But at this point, we're right where we need to be, I guess. Now, I need to run to the parts house and rent a ball joint, ball joint press to press some ball joints back in, the lower ones. So while we're waiting on DIY Dad to get here, I'm gonna run up to the O'Reilly's, get the ball joint press, get back, get the truck parked, get ready to do the upper control arms and lower ball joints, and then that'll be tomorrow's video. So with all that, do you keep living the dream, doing your thing. That's how we change the cam sensor and crank sensor. And with all that, we'll see you on the next one.